Ghost students stealing millions in college financial aid. How identity theft and AI power a growing scam. In the digital age, a new and alarming form of education-related fraud has taken root. Scammers are creating so-called ghost students, fake or stolen identities enrolled in real colleges and universities, for the express purpose of siphoning off millions of dollars in financial aid and student loans meant for legitimate learners. This phenomenon, which is spread across community colleges and online programs throughout the United States, exploits vulnerabilities in enrollment processes, especially those driven online since the COVID-19 pandemic. What are ghost students? Ghost students are fraudulent college enrollees, individuals or automated bots, who use fake identities or stolen personal information to apply to colleges, enroll primarily in community college programs with open admission policies, and apply for federal and state financial aid, including grants and loans. Once enrolled, these fandom students receive financial aid disbursements. They then vanish, leaving schools, the federal government, and unsuspecting identity owners to shoulder the fallout. The name Ghost comes from the fact that these students aren't real. They never attend class, have no physical presence on campus, and often aren't even aware their identities were used. How the scam works. Criminal rings behind this fraud exploit the shift toward digital processes in higher education. Identity theft. Scammers use stolen social security numbers and personal data to create student profiles. Online enrollment. They enroll these fake students in online classes at community colleges or similar institutions, taking advantage of systems that lack robust identity verification. Financial aid applications. The scammers submit financial aid requests, including Pell Grants and federal loans, through the free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, process. Fund collection. Once aid is approved, funds are disbursed electronically and often routed to bank accounts controlled by fraudsters. Disappearance. The scammers stop responding, drop classes, or never attend, leaving schools and the federal government with the task of unwinding the fraud. As one official put it, ghost students apply, snag the money, and then disappear into cyberspace. Magnitude of the problem. The scale of ghost student fraud is staggering. In California alone, nearly a third of all community college applications were flagged as likely fraudulent in 2024, resulting in millions of dollars in improper aid disbursements. Federal statistics indicate hundreds of millions of dollars have been involved in these scams as investigations continue nationwide. One investigation in Minnesota found ghost students may have received over $12.5 million in federal financial aid before being caught. Experts believe AI and automation tools have accelerated the problem, allowing bad actors to generate convincing applications, proof of class attendance, and even completed coursework to avoid detection. Who is being targeted? While colleges and taxpayers suffer direct financial loss, the collateral damage often hits these groups hardest. Victims of identity theft. Real students and non-students alike can discover, sometimes years later, that student loans were taken out in their names, debts they never applied for, tarnishing credit scores and creating long legal battles. Community colleges. Institutions with open enrollment policies, especially community colleges, are prime targets because they often admit applicants with minimal vetting, making it easier for ghost students to slip through. Deserving students. Legitimate students risk losing limited financial aid resources and class seats when fake applicants crowd online enrollments and snag scarce funding. Taxpayers. Financial aid is funded largely by federal and state tax dollars. Scams divert this money away from genuine educational goals and into the hands of fraudsters. Why this fraud has flourished. Several factors have contributed to the rise of ghost student schemes. Small Blue Diamond online learning expansion. The shift to remote and online enrollment during the pandemic opened loopholes in identity verification that fraud rings now exploit. Small Blue Diamond community college enrollment policies. Open admissions at many community colleges lowers barriers to entry, but also makes it easier to scoop and fake applicants. Small Blue Diamond AI and automation tools. Scammers use sophisticated AI to generate forged application materials and mimic human behavior online to evade detection. Small Blue Diamond lacks verification processes. Many higher education systems rely on basic online forms, without rigorous real-time identity checks, making them vulnerable to manipulation. Response: fighting back against ghost students. Authorities and institutions are increasingly taking action. Pushpin enhanced identity verification. The U.S. Department of Education now requires government-issued ID checks for first-time federal aid applicants, and some colleges are adopting biometric and advanced digital verification tools. Pushpin AI-driven fraud detection. Ironically, schools and government investigators are now using AI tools to fight back, analyzing patterns and flagging suspicious applications before disbursements occur. Pushpin interagency investigations. Federal investigations into ghost student rings are active in multiple states, with the Department of Education's Office of Inspector General leading probes into financial aid theft nationwide. Pushpin colleges strengthening admissions. Some institutions have implemented CAPTCHA, multi-factor authentication, and manual reviews to weed out bot-generated applications. Despite these efforts, experts warn that fraudsters will likely adapt to new safeguards, making this an ongoing battle for colleges and regulators alike. The human cost. Beyond financial figures, the ghost student crisis has real human consequences. Students whose identities are stolen may see their credit ruined or face unexpected debt collection. Legitimate students may lose access to legitimate college funding and educational opportunities. Colleges divert already limited resources toward fraud detection instead of student services. What began as a strategy to automate and expand access to higher education has inadvertently created a lucrative avenue for cybercriminals, one that requires urgent coordinated action to safeguard students, taxpayers, and the integrity of financial aid programs.